Well, what's up, guys? This is RJ Game News USA here, and I wish I was coming at you with a more happy video. However, something bittersweet happened, and what the hell am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about today was the very last day I plan on playing my Nintendo Switch 1. Literally, here in a few days, the Switch 2 will be out. And when it comes out, I'll be transferring over my save data, all my data to the Switch 2. Thus, resetting my Switch 1 to factory settings. And I'll have no need anymore to have a Switch 1. And I just kind of want to talk about what the last day was like. You know, the bittersweet moments of playing the final games or looking at the final apps on the Switch 1 and what all that entailed. So, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We cover gaming news, we cover movies, we do sports talk, we do live streams. Very active. We upload multiple times a day on this channel. So, with all the plugs out of the way, talking about the Switch 1, I brought up my history about it many of times. I don't need to anymore. We've been over it enough times. It's on plenty of my videos if you want to see it. But I more or less just want to go over this last day with Switch 2 and Switch 1 and what it was like. So every week for the past 46, 47 weeks, I've been doing the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, the challenges every Monday. And it's been a routine of mine on Monday morning to start my week off playing through the challenges. I usually start by looking at last week's results, and then I like to see what the fastest people in the world did on each challenge, and then I do my 5 challenges. I then will go and try to collect pens, use the coins I earned to collect pens, and I got like 460 something pens out of 501. And badges, I almost have every single badge except like 2 or 3. I've done every single speed run. I've at least A ranked or better every single challenge in the game. So this is a game I put a lot of hours into. Not that many hours. Per week, I probably spend less than 30 minutes on this game. But it's been consistently involved in my life. And I could easily transfer it over to the Switch 2 if I wanted to keep going. But I've bought every single badge that cost 100 coins at this point, and with badges costing upwards of 2,000 coins even, I find myself not as interested to continue going forward on the Switch 2 with the NES edition. Hopefully there's a Nintendo World Championships SNES edition, so I can do Super Nintendo games like that. I was a big fan of the NES Remix 1 and 2 on the Wii U, and would be grateful to see a Nintendo World Championship SNES edition come. But we'll see. So, of course, I played that. I also played Xenoblade Chronicles X earlier in the year, but not today. But I also played F-Zero 99. I played like a 5-tour race. I ended up 5th out of 99 people who played in that. And so that was fun and exhilarating. But I think I'm done with F-Zero 99 for the very last time. Even though that can be transferred to the Switch 2. Because I'll be playing Mario Kart. I'll be playing the hell out of Mario Kart. And I'm ready for the next gen stuff. And I went ahead and I checked the NSO service to see what I played the most of on each system. And I'll let you guys know what it was. So, when it came to the Sega Genesis, the most time I spent on any one game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Not a surprise. I don't know what's taking so long to get Sonic 3 on there. Hopefully we'll see that in the near future. On the Super Nintendo, well actually the NES, we'll start with the NES. The NES, it's Super Mario Bros. 3. It's where I put most of my time in. On the Super Nintendo, it was Super Mario All-Stars, which of course is basically the remake of Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, Lost Levels, and 3. On the N64, the game I played most was Mario Kart 64. Actually, the game I played the most of any NSO game, about 10 hours worth of gameplay. Not a surprise, considering how much of a Mario Kart fan I am. On the Game Boy, the most time I put in was to Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. I did beat the game. It took about 79 minutes to complete. And the Game Boy Advance, my top game was Mario Bros. 3. It was Super Mario Advance 4, Mario Bros. 3. So another version of Mario Bros. 3. So you kind of get the gist of what I'm into, if you don't know by now. So, it was great seeing all that. And then there was an update the system had to do, though, before I even started. And in that update, it sort of changed a little bit of the eShop and a little bit of, the Nintendo Online homepage. Sort of gave it a black background and sort of made things sleeker and smoother. It's really an interesting concept that when a new console comes out, it's affecting the previous gen console. That's sort of like a current era thing. You know what I mean? Because I remember when the Series X came out, it affected the Xbox One store a little bit. So the Switch One's definitely looking Switch 2ified in the menus, if you know what I'm saying. It's kind of going to help with that compatibility, I think, as people will slowly migrate over from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2. But, and as far as my future plans, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's a reason for me to sell my Switch 1, because, to be honest, I'm not going to get a lot of money out of it anyway, number one. And number two, I'm not buying physical media anymore. Considering game key cards, I already have an all-digital PS5. I'm probably going all-digital with the Switch 2. Because, why not? Yeah, you miss out on the resale money, but that's kind of what we've come to. If you get everything's going to be almost a game key card anyway, then who gives a shit? Just download it. It's just easier. I don't have to pop the cartridge in and out. I have issues with that. But, yeah, definitely a bittersweet moment. You're talking about the Switch 1 lasting 8 years almost. Actually, over 8 years. 8 years and 3 months, essentially. March 2017 to June 2025. There's no way in hell if you would have told me when the Switch 1 came out in 2017 that it would last to 2025. I probably would have told you 2022. But it did, and we never got a Switch Pro. It's crazy, all the rumors we always heard. Switch Pro, Switch Pro, Switch Pro, and we never got one. And now, we're getting a Switch 2. That is your Switch Pro. And I'm just excited. We're on the eve of a brand new console generation. It's been so long for Nintendo. Honestly, my life was completely different 8 years ago. I don't know about you guys, but 8 years is actually a really long time. We've literally seen presidents come and go and come again, if you know what I mean, since 2017. And the world's definitely changed. Digital's becoming a bigger deal. AI's becoming a bigger deal. Video game companies are firing people even more so left and right. There was a worldwide pandemic over the course of a lot of those years. And personally, I'm better off now than I was 8 years ago. But the world doesn't seem to be so. But I hope the world can be comforted a little bit by the launch of the Switch 2. Hopefully a distraction where people can enjoy the system and have an escape from what seems to be a hard life for many people. I know that may sound corny, but I think video games, the cornerstone of them is meant to be fun. And this morning, for the last time, I had fun on my Nintendo Switch. My old-ass Nintendo Switch. I still had a lot of fun, and you will surely be missed. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace. I'm out. Have a good one.